Hey, it's Ed and Shailu, and we're back with episode 4 of Startups, a limited series. We're covering Mila Health. We know a lot of people have insurance startups. There's so many startups. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to start in the very beginning, which we've done in episode 1 with Shailu, and talked about how the product, why it was created. But even before that, talked about you, Shailu, in terms of your career and, a very traditional career. But then you did your own startup previously, successful, and now you started a second one. So episode 2, we kind of talk about the problem statement, things like that. Episode 3, we talk about building out the team, building out the product. And now in episode 4, we want to talk about results because a few months have passed since episode 1. And so I want to just ask you, tell me about customer or customers and some of the early results.
Awesome. Love it. So as I think we touched on this a little bit in the last episode where I explained what the product was, and you asked me about the process of building the product, right? And so while we have, of course, a vision of where we want the product to be, but we can't just attain that vision in the 14 months that we've been around. So we broke our milestone as product managers into the logical steps. And the first aspect of getting a product out is to make sure that you meet a milestone that is leading you towards the end vision. And that milestone also is something which is delightful for customers and it addresses the customer needs. So I'll answer both your questions. So in the context of building a healthcare worker for a physician, we addressed the space around value-based care. And so today we have ACOs and large member organizations of ACOs, and each of them have metrics to meet on preventive care, on annual wellness visit, on screening on colorectal cancer or mammograms, and a bunch of different metrics that they need to meet. And for them to get their savings, they need to meet the metrics as well as, of course, reduce the overall spend on their patient population. Unfortunately, today what happens is that you have a physician who has typically a panel size of 2,000, 3,000, sometimes 4,000. And few of their patients are active, but a large percentage of their patients are not active. So this is someone like Shailu who hasn't seen their PCP in the last 4 years. And so the PCP has to call Shailu and say, hey, Shailu, we need to bring you in for your annual wellness visit, or we need to bring you in for screening your colorectal cancer. All of this, Ed, today is a manual outreach. So when we spend time with ACOs, they tell us they create a list, they give it to a call center, the call center calls, a new list comes up the next week. Again, the call center picks up on those lists, lots of spreadsheets, lots of phone calls. And this limits what we can do for value-based care for our member organizations and our ACOs. So we launched Mila to automate this completely, where we take the metrics from our physicians, we reach out to the patients, we engage with them and say, hey, Shailu, we need to bring you in for a particular condition or a particular reason. And we give you the context. We speak to you just like a person on a call center would and address even some questions that you have and close the loop. And so that we've been doing very actively now. We've got a number of patients. We've got a few thousand lives already in Mila. And so in that consequence, the metrics that I track for our physicians is A, am I helping you meet your quality goals for the patient population? We've seen improvements of 25%
Wow.
of meeting the quality goals because we are able to reach out and we are able to automatically set up an appointment.
Yeah, makes sense.
The second metric that we track is, are we able to increase your revenue? Because we've set up these appointments automatically. These are patients that you weren't seeing. So have we helped you increase the revenue by making sure that you have the right CPT codes associated with the appointments that we booked? And finally, we want to do this at a lower cost. So you don't have your own people calling, which is $12 to $15 an individual call. Do it better, increase revenue, reduce costs, and of course, all of this with better patient outcomes. So those are the metrics that we are tracking right now and actually been very good at it. So in fact, I think we hopefully will have one of our customers on your call where you can have him talk to you about this.
Yeah, we'll do that. Episode 6, we'll have one of your customers sort of giving their experience.
That'd be lovely.
Mila Health. So yeah, this has been great. Episode 5 coming up, we'll have a demo. Episode 6, we'll have one of your clinicians, customers talking about the experience, and we'll keep going until you'll be the keynote at the next HIMSS conference, given the disruption. Because this is really this is a great example of the power of AI. Everyone talks about AI and a lot of theory, although there's a lot of work being done as well. But your product really hits something that's super important because, yeah, it helps with revenue. It helps with the patient experience, the clinician experience, quality, just hits all the, sort of quadruple aim type of thing. So I love it. Thanks for sharing your journey with